Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Joshua Mackins. I'm the founder of the Local Business Internet Marketing University and your host for the weekly coaching calls. And welcome to week 26 of the weekly coaching calls. And we're doing a little bit of an interruption here between what we normally do, which is educate you on how to do your own Google Internet marketing. And we're actually going to be talking about today, and not just Google, but building your own website, social media, all that good stuff. But today, we're going to be talking about a new mobile algorithm that's coming out on April 21st, 2015. What that means for you and what that means for your local business. So, we're going to go ahead and get to that here in just a second. It's a really big deal, but we've got the entire scoop for you and we got some good stuff that's going to be coming your way. Before we do that, let's go ahead and take care of a couple of housekeeping items. Wanted to talk to you guys today about the university membership. So some of the people on the call today are members of the university, some are not. What the university membership entails is just a monthly membership to every single one of our weekly coaching calls. You can watch our weekly coaching calls live here, and this one we're actually going to be making public because it is such a big deal. But this is week 26. We have 25 other private videos all about how to grow your internet marketing all by yourself for your local business. We teach how to build your own website for less than $60. We teach you how to do your own search engine optimization. We teach you how to do your own AdWords. And we're also going to be talking more and more about other internet marketing avenues such as email marketing, content marketing, blogging, social media, all of that good stuff. The university membership really just exists for those of you guys out there that want to do your own internet marketing and you just don't know how. Okay, so go to localbizu.com. That'll give you more information on the university membership. It's actually really inexpensive. It kind of blows people's minds sometimes, and you will you'll see on that page everything you get access to. We'd love to have you here as a member of the university. But today, again, this weekly coaching call is actually going to be public. We're going to put it on a couple of different of our social media. We're going to leave it as public on YouTube. Normally, we turn all those videos private just for our members. But this one today is going to be a public service. So you guys are welcome. So the next thing, we just got a couple of other things that we want to talk about. We also have a new feature here at the university called our weekly Google ranking reports. And basically what it is you can go to localbizu.com/ranking reports, or you can just go to the university website and go to I believe it's resources in the free weekly Google ranking reports. What you're going to do is you're just going to enter in your email a couple of keywords that you want to track for your local business. So if you're a roofer, you'd want to type in roofer, roofing, roofing company, roofing contractor, etc. And you're going to type in the city and sign up for those. And what that'll do for you is every single Monday, you will have in your email inbox, fresh, hot off the press, your latest local business rankings on Google, where you rank for those keywords. We do that, again, is just a public service. It's absolutely free, doesn't cost you anything. So make sure you go and sign up for that. Again, you can go to localbizu.com/ranking reports, or you can just go to our university website and go to resources and then click on free weekly Google ranking reports. All right, we just got a couple more things. So for you university members, we always do include a podcast transcript of the weekly coaching call every single week. Remember that these podcasts are for you to, if you're going from appointment to appointment and you can't make the weekly coaching call, or you can't sit down in front of a computer to watch a replay that particular week, we still want you to get caught up on everything and still have, that level of knowledge that we went over for that week to build on your foundation. So you can always go and watch the podcast, but keep in mind that a lot of the stuff we do here at the university and on the weekly coaching calls is visual. So there is going to be something lost in translation, but at least you won't be behind. So make sure you go and check out the podcasts. And finally, always ask questions, guys. Hopefully we're going to get a lot of questions from our audience members today. Always ask questions. We'll answer them at the end. It always helps to have more questions because we give more content. And then also remember that we're trying to keep everything to a shorter format. We're trying to keep it between 20 to 30 minutes instead of 60 minutes as we were doing. Got some feedback from our university members saying that was a little long, that they would be better with just small chunks of 20 to 30 minutes. Can't promise we're going to do that today because this is a big deal. But in general, that's what we're trying to do. So with all that in mind, let's go ahead and get off and running on Google's new mobile algorithm update. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in. On April 21st, again, in 11 days, Google is going to come out with a new mobile algorithm that is going to change how they serve search results. Okay. So before we get too far into the details of that, we probably first need to cover what is a mobile friendly website and what exactly does that mean? Well, as mobile devices have come on the scene before the smartphone, you had been hard pressed more than likely to find anyone who believed that we would quit using desktops and quit using our laptops and start using small little itty bitty devices to browse the internet. But that's exactly what's happening right now. And in fact, I will show you a statistic here in just a second that shows more people actually browse the internet now through their mobile devices than through desktops and laptops. So when the smartphone first came out, gave us a new way to access the internet, and that's when the mobile revolution really started to take off. And what a mobile friendly website means is that if you look at a website with a smartphone, is it optimized to show up on that device? And actually, let's just go ahead and give you an example real quick of what I'm talking about. We will learn through, let's see here. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. We're just going to learn through actually looking. We're going to do some visual learning today. Okay. So here is a regular website. This is usatoday.com. This is the desktop version of their website. Okay. As you can see, it fills out the full width here of my screen, or not the full width, but more or less the full width. And it is just a regular website that I guess you could say is optimized for desktop, but all websites are optimized for desktop. That's predominantly the way it's always been. So what does it mean to have a mobile friendly website? Well, if I tried to access this particular website with my mobile device, I would have to, take my fingers and swipe on the screen to maximize and to pull in so that I could maximize the screen, or I could minimize the screen. And that's really just not conducive to a good mobile experience. If someone is having to go on their phone and like open it and then maximize it, then minimize it, and then scroll to the left, scroll to the right, they're straining their eyes. It makes it really hard on someone that's using a mobile device to access your website. Makes it incredibly difficult for them to get the information they want. And a lot of times what's going to end up happening is they could end up just leaving your website because it's so difficult to work with on a mobile device. So again, let's go back to our example here real quick. And this is usatoday.com on just a desktop version. Now let's see what the mobile version looks like. And I have a little script on my browser that I'm able to actually access mobile websites, mobile friendly websites. So this is actually what the mobile friendly version of USA Today looks like. If you notice, it's the exact same content. Here's Hillary Clinton's the big news story right now that she looks like she may run for 2016. And it's here at the top. Okay. And as you scroll down, everything is stacked vertically. Okay. If I were to access this on a mobile device, this would be optimized for mobile viewing because everything is stacked on each other. So if I were to access that website on a mobile device, it would actually be really easy to read. I wouldn't have to maximize, I wouldn't have to minimize. When I clicked on a news story, the text would actually fit on my phone, would be large enough for me to read. And that's what we really mean by a mobile friendly website. It just needs to be able to be seen optimally. You don't need, just exactly what I was talking about earlier. If your website, you don't have to maximize the screen, minimize the screen. If you don't, have to swipe left and swipe right to read everything, everything's very legible. That's what you want for a mobile friendly experience so that people have an easy time navigating your website. Now, I do want to separate smartphones versus tablets. Normally on a tablet, it's just your normal version of your website is gonna show up, even though that is technically a mobile device, because normal tablets are traditionally big enough to handle a desktop version. You don't have to maximize or minimize or anything like that. And also the big challenge with mobile is that when you're looking on a a desktop screen or on a laptop, your screen is in what is called landscape. It looks like a TV. It's wider than it is tall. Okay, but with a mobile device, that's switched. It's longer and it's taller than it is widthwise. Okay, so you're having to do a complete 180 where, with your computer screen, everything can be left to right and really wide. When you switch it to a mobile device, it's the exact opposite and everything needs to be stacked vertically. Okay, so that's what mobile friendly actually means. And there, you've probably heard the phrases. Let's talk about responsive versus mobile websites. You've probably heard the phrase responsive versus having a mobile website before. And the difference between the two is that a mobile website is just a different version of your website that is mobile. Okay, so for instance, ebay.com. When you go to ebay.com on the desktop, it's going to look like this. When you go to it on a mobile device, it's no longer ebay.com. It's now m.ebay.com, which is mobile.ebay.com. It's the same functionality for the most part, but it's important to note that this is actually technically a completely different website. And notice how everything is stacked vertically. Okay, if I looked at this website on a smartphone, then I would be I would be able to peruse eBay and be just fine. Okay, and I'm going to try this. I'm not sure how this is going to work with our webinar software, if you're going to get to see the full effect or not, but this is actually a responsive website. Mobile.ebay.com is an example of a mobile website. This is an example of a responsive website. With responsive websites, what ends up happening is, and let me see if this is going to work. Let's actually back up to mobile. With a mobile website, what happens is ebay.com will look at whatever you're trying to access their website with, and they'll notice if it's a smartphone or if it's a tablet, and they'll either serve you ebay.com or m.ebay.com, their mobile website. They'll choose which website to serve you. With responsive web design, it's actually quite a bit different. Instead, what they end up doing is they look at the size of your screen instead of the device that you're using. Okay, so this is futureofwebdesign.com, and they do have a responsive website. It responds to the size of your screen. So with the size of a screen like this, they go, okay, it's probably a desktop, but that doesn't really matter. Any screen that's this size, this is the type of website that we're going to serve them. Okay, now when the screen starts to get smaller, and let's go to the top, notice what happens. Okay, I'm going to just drop some width here. Notice how everything is moving over to the left and to the right and squeezing. Okay, networking was really big, but if I squeeze it down, networking drops. Okay, it drops to a smaller font size. Also notice that register today is actually shrinking in while the navigation bar is staying the exact same. All the content is getting smaller and is pushing up to the top left. So it is responding to the size of my screen in real time. Okay, if I did this, and let's go back to ebay.com real quick. If I did this with ebay.com, let's just do it with their regular site. If you notice, it shrinks, but when I get to a point, content gets cut off. Look, so this T-Mobile ad right here, if I go too far, it gets cut off. But with a mobile responsive website, with just a responsive website, it responds to the size of the screen, and when it gets too small, ba-doop, look at that. It got too small, and then it completely switched, not to a different version of the website, but just an alternate layout. Okay, so if you notice, education was right here. It got too small, and so they popped education up here. Okay, this is what a responsive website is. It just responds to the size of the screen, and if you notice, this is more the size of a smartphone. Okay, everything's stacked vertically. All right, so that's the difference between a responsive website and a mobile website. A mobile website, when a device accesses so with eBay, when a device accesses ebay.com, eBay says, what kind of device are you using? And then they decide whether to serve you ebay.com or mobile.ebay.com. So that's what a mobile website does. It asks what device you're on, then serves you the appropriate website. A responsive website It doesn't ask you what type of device you're on. It asks you what's the size of your screen. And as that size either gets bigger or smaller, they adjust their website to be optimized for that screen size. Okay. So you've probably had quite a few questions about what a mobile website versus a responsive website is, and now you have the answers. So color yourself educated. All right, so that is what a mobile friendly website is. If you have a mobile website like ebay.com does, or you have a responsive website like futureofwebdesign.com does, then you are mobile friendly. Okay, so let's talk about why it matters to be mobile friendly. Okay, so let's talk about the details of the mobile algorithm that's coming out on the 21st. So why is Google coming out with a mobile algorithm? Well, let's look at some stats real quick, or just a stat. It's it's mind blowing enough that you just need this stat alone by itself. The number of global users. This is desktop versus mobile. You can see in 2007 there was a big gap. In 2014, early 2014, looks like quarter 1, they intersected. It's the exact same for desktop and mobile users at that time in terms of global users. Now it's switched more to mobile than to desktop. Okay, users overall are on a rise, but mobile has surpassed desktop. Okay, why is that important? That is important because people are increasingly accessing Google through accessing Google through their mobile devices. So when someone does a search on Google through their mobile device, Google wants to return a mobile responsive website, or a not responsive, mobile friendly website. I have to be careful with my definitions today because they're very granular, but they're very important. So they want to return a mobile friendly website. Why? Because Google is all about user experience. The reason they're all about user experience is they want you to keep coming back and using Google. If you keep coming back and using Google, if users keep coming back and using Google, they are going to make more and more money because you're going to click on their ads more and more. If you get frustrated with Google and decide you're going to use Bing or Yahoo, heaven help you. But besides that, you're not going to make Google any money. So they want to keep you around. Now, and if you're a mobile user, what is something that would really frustrate you? Well, if you search and Google returns a non-mobile friendly website, you click on it and you can't find your answer because you're having to you have to maximize, minimize, swipe left and right, then you might get frustrated and might not use Google anymore. They don't want that to happen. So on April 21st, they're going to start predominantly showing mobile friendly websites on mobile searches. And the reason I slowed down and said mobile searches is because this is not going to affect desktop searches. If someone is searching on the desktop, your rankings for your local business are going to stay exactly the same. There should not be a switch or a movement at all for you. However, if your website is not mobile friendly, you are going to potentially drop in ranking when someone searches your keywords on a mobile device. Okay. So, and actually, let me go back and show you. This is actually an important part that I skipped over without meaning to. But if you're curious, right here with this is this statistic of global users for mobile surpassing desktop in 2014. You need to keep in mind two different things. This is global, okay? This is not the United States. I don't know what it is for the United States. And you also, I think the disparity there's going to be some disparity there, because while we do have enough money for mobile devices, a mobile device doesn't cost as much as a computer or a desktop. With America being a relatively affluent country, we can afford laptops, we can afford desktops, so that number is going to shrink. Also keep in mind, most people use search on their mobile device not to make purchasing decisions, but just to be entertained, just to read, all sorts of different things. When it comes to making a purchase decision, it is much easier to use a desktop or a laptop to make that purchasing decision, mostly because consumers want to do research these days. Okay, so if I'm having to do research on my mobile device, it's not happening. I can do it so much quicker on my desktop or my laptop. I can open multiple windows seamlessly. I can hit multiple websites very quick, and they're not showing me their mobile optimized version of their website. Most mobile optimized versions of websites or mobile friendly websites don't have as many features and as much information, excuse me, as the desktop version. Why? Because you're going from a screen like this to a screen like this. There's just only so much information and features you can fit into it. Okay. So, because most people, in my opinion, are doing purchasing decisions through a desktop or a laptop, I have no stats to back that up. There probably are stats out there about that. I just don't have any at the moment. I do think that most people are making their purchasing decisions through a desktop and a laptop. And I guess I do actually have some stats to back that up. I have just different Google Analytics accounts that I have access to for different local businesses. Now, this is not a local business, this is just a test account. But when I look at different local businesses and their Google Analytics, overwhelmingly, the majority of searches are coming from a desktop computer. And desktop in Google Analytics is actually, a desktop or a laptop, anything that's not a tablet or is not a smartphone. Okay. Normally, I'm seeing about 75% of traffic is desktop versus 25% being about mobile. Okay. But there's a really easy way for you to tell when people are coming to your site how many are coming from the desktop or going to your website through a desktop computer or a mobile device. It's really simple. You just go to Google Analytics. If you have it installed, go to Audience, click on Mobile, and then you can get an overview. As you can see, this is a test website, so these results are not accurate at all, but it shows you how many desktop views that you get and the percentage, and then how many mobile views you get and the percentage. You can also click devices here, and I'll actually show you individual devices, which is pretty cool for the mobile. So that's how you can find out your own percentages. But just because 25% of people may be viewing, maybe only 25% of people are viewing your website on a mobile device, doesn't mean you don't need one. You absolutely do, because more and more people, mobile's only going to get higher and higher and higher. And that's 25% of your traffic potentially. And that's a big chunk of traffic. Now you add Google into the mix, it's an even bigger deal. Okay. So let's get back to the mobile algorithm. It is only going to affect mobile searches. Again, if someone's searching from the desktop, you'll be fine. Okay. It also will update in real time. A lot of Google's updates don't update in real time. And what I mean by that is when you go to, let's say that you missed the April 21st deadline and you get your website mobile friendly by April 22nd. Okay. Is it going to take a month or two for Google to re-include you or to rank you back where you used to be for mobile? No, it's not. The next time Google, apparently, Google's release is that, or their official word on their release is that when they recrawl your website and they go back through and look through your website, which they do on a pretty often basis. It varies between websites, but it happens quite often. They will be able to tell whether your website is mobile friendly or not. On April 22nd, if they crawl your website, what they are saying, and it's mobile friendly, what they are saying is that they will recognize that you're mobile friendly and they'll update you immediately to be mobile friendly and to show up higher in those search results. Okay, so it updates in real time. All right, and it also goes by a page basis. A lot of different updates are site wide from Google. Okay, they look at your entire site. For your mobile searches, what they're going to look at is a page by page basis. Okay, so let's say that you're a carpet cleaner, and for carpet cleaning in your city on the desktop, you rank really, really well. Okay, and let's say that your home page is mobile friendly. All right. So for your homepage, you're going to rank just fine in mobile searches, probably just as well on desktop. And well, actually, probably even better, because you're going to have some competitors that don't have mobile friendly websites. And because they don't, they're going to drop out a little bit. So let's talk about that's for your homepage, and in our example, it's mobile friendly and it's good to go. Let's talk about maybe just your homepage is mobile friendly, but for some reason your carpet stretching page is not mobile friendly. If I Google carpet stretching on Google in your city, let's say you rank second, okay? But on a mobile device, I'm going to type that in, and you're probably not going to rank second anymore if that page is not mobile friendly on your website. Let's say now you rank 15th because it's not mobile friendly and all your other competitors are mobile friendly. Well, you may not even rank 15th anymore, because the page that was the most powerful for that search, the one that Google thought was the most authoritative, was actually your carpet stretching page. Now that it's not mobile friendly and it's dropped, Google may actually feel like your homepage, because it is mobile friendly and talks a little bit about carpet stretching, is more authoritative. So it may actually decide to show your homepage higher instead, and it may not show it 15th. It may show it a lot further down. So you're taking a gamble by not having your website mobile friendly, and I think that goes without saying. And just to reiterate, Google is going by page basis, but that's not really that big of a deal, because most websites, if they're mobile friendly, it exists for the entire site. Okay. And also, this update is coming out on April 21st. You have 11 days as of this recording. If you're watching the replay, it's probably already come and gone. The good news for you is it does update in real time. So as soon as you get that mobile website going, probably within a week to 2 weeks, maybe even sooner, Google's going to put you right back where you should be, because your website's mobile friendly. Okay, so just to recap, this mobile update is only going to affect people who are not mobile friendly. If you're mobile friendly, you're good to go. It's only going to affect people that are not mobile friendly, and it's only going to affect mobile searches. It will not affect your ranking on the desktop. It'll only affect your local business ranking on mobile. Okay. And also, it's going to be in real time. Again, it'll update as soon as they recrawl and see your website's mobile friendly. They're looking at it on a page by page basis, meaning if one page is mobile friendly, then it's going to rank that as a mobile friendly page. And it doesn't rank for your whole website. Each individual page needs to be mobile friendly. And again, it's live April 21st, 2015. Okay. So those are all the details. Let's go through a couple of other things real quick. And the first thing is, how are you going to check if your website is mobile friendly or not? Okay. That's a fantastic question. Luckily, Google has made it super easy for us to show you whether your website is mobile friendly or not. Okay. All you have to do is go to google.com/webmasters/tools/mobile friendly. And we'll have a link to this in the show notes. But if you go to this link right, or this website right here, this web page, you can actually enter in any page of your website, and Google will tell you whether it's mobile friendly or not. So I'm going to type in google.com, click analyze, and it says, awesome, this page is mobile friendly. If your page is not mobile friendly, then it will let you know. Again, this is on a page by page basis. So it's not going to tell you if your entire website is mobile friendly. It's just going to tell you if one page is. So then that may lead to you deciding, well, I'm going to test every page on my website. You probably don't need to do that. Probably your best bet is just to look at your most popular pages, maybe 5 to 10 different pages. And if those are all mobile friendly, more than likely your entire website is mobile friendly. So just check your first 5 to 10 most important pages, the pages that rank highest on Google, and that'll be enough for that. Okay, so that's how to check if your website is mobile friendly or not. Let's talk about if your website is not mobile friendly. If your website is mobile friendly, you're good to go. The April 21st deadline will probably hit you, and just go on by. And let me actually give you a different turn of phrase. It will pass on by. It's not going to hit you. It will just pass on by, and you'll be fine. So you're good to go. No more worries. If your website is not mobile friendly, you're going to need some options to take it mobile friendly. First of all, Google, if you're doing search engine optimization, even if you're not doing search engine optimization, you want to be on good terms with Google. Okay, they are incredibly powerful. They can send you a lot of business. You want to be on good terms with them. If you're watching this video, you're watching this weekly coaching call, I probably don't have to hammer you over the head with that, so I'm going to quit right there. The second part of this is, your users are actually coming to your website, more than likely a fourth of them probably through a mobile device, if not more. You need to make it easy for them to get the information they want, so they don't get frustrated, back out, and go to one of your competitors who is mobile friendly. So how are you going to bring your website mobile friendly? Let's talk about a couple of different scenarios here. Okay, the best case scenario, honestly, is that you have a WordPress website. Okay, if you have a WordPress website and it is not mobile friendly, it is incredibly easy to make it mobile friendly. Okay, so, and I just clicked off the link that I needed to do. So let's go to Google and type in WP Touch. Okay, WP Touch this is why WordPress is so amazing. This is why we teach all of our university members to build their websites on WordPress because of things like this. WP Touch is a plugin that is incredibly inexpensive that will immediately take your website mobile friendly. Okay. If you do not, we teach to build on WordPress websites because if you do not have a WordPress website, as we're going to talk about in a second, it could potentially cost you hundreds of dollars or maybe even thousands, depending. But if you're on WordPress, how much is it going to cost you? Well, it's going to cost you $59 to take your website mobile friendly. There are some other options out there for free plugins that can take your website mobile. I'm not going to even bother to talk about those options because honestly, if they're free, then normally they're not updated very well. They could allow hackers into your website and they probably don't really perform that well. You can take $60 and spend it on this plugin and have a beautiful mobile optimized website and be done. Okay. WP Touch, they get paid money to have updates and to invest in new technology and new infrastructure. You are going to get an amazing mobile website for $60. Okay. Don't even bother with a free plugin. Go ahead and just pay $60 because, as we're going to talk about here in a second, if you don't have a mobile friendly website and you're not on WordPress, it's going to cost you a lot more than $60. So just go ahead and pony up, pay $60. You can do it yourself if you need help. You can come to the university website, fill out a contact form, send us an email, and we actually do have WP Touch. You wouldn't have to buy it through us, and we've got a structure where it'll be a little bit more expensive than just buying WP Touch or WordPress Touch, but we'll actually professionally install it for you as well. So you can ask us about that option if you like, but really you can just go do it yourself and be fine. All right. So that's if you're on WordPress. Let's talk about if you're built on Weebly or Wix or something like that. One of these platforms that allows you to build your own website. I don't really necessarily have a problem with these platforms. I don't recommend them at all because WordPress is on 40% of websites on the internet. It has amazing marketing features that these other companies can't even touch. For instance, I've got a plugin for WordPress that if you try to leave the university website, a pop-up comes up and offers you an ebook so that you will enter in your email address and I can add you to my email marketing list. Weebly and Wix do not have that type of functionality. I could go on and on and on, but the biggest advantage, you just saw it, is that for $60 you can have an amazing mobile optimized website. Now, most people that build on WordPress these days, you don't even have to pay $60 because most websites are built on WordPress to be mobile friendly. Okay, so that's the power of WordPress. But if you are on Weebly or you are on Wix, it's totally fine. More than likely, you shouldn't have a problem because they should already be mobile optimized. If they're not, it may be because you have, an older website. It may be because maybe just that particular website you chose, that particular theme or layout didn't have a mobile responsive website. What you need to do is you need to contact Weebly or Wix or whoever you built your website through and ask them how much it's going to cost, what's the process for getting a mobile website, a mobile responsive website together, a mobile friendly website. Goodness, I just went through two different definitions that were incorrect. How much it's going to cost to do a mobile friendly website. Okay, that's your best bet, is just to get in contact with them. And if they don't have any options for you, I would just Google options for that. Okay, or I would consider switching to WordPress. So that's if you're on Weebly or Wix. Let's talk about the other scenario, which is you didn't build your website yourself. You had someone else build it. And that normally falls into two categories. Okay, the first category is you had someone else build your website and you have zero contact with them. We'll get it, and you don't, they may not even be a website company anymore, or you haven't talked to them in 6 to 12 months or whatever. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's talk the other scenario where you did have someone else build your website. They make monthly changes to your website and you have a good relationship with them. If you fall in that boat, you may be able to actually ask them to make your mobile website or your website mobile friendly, probably for free. I mean, you pay them money each month to keep up with your website. If you haven't used any of their services in like, 3 to 4 months, you could just call and say, hey, I'd like to take my website mobile friendly. I need it immediately by April 21st. I haven't used you guys in like 4 or 5 months. I feel like I've built up some credit there. Can you go ahead and just do it for free? Just, it doesn't hurt to ask, just see what they say. If they say no, more than likely it's going to be much cheaper to use them to get a mobile friendly website than it would be to go out and hire somebody else, another website company. That doesn't mean you shouldn't go get quotes, but it just means that these guys actually built your website. They know it from scratch to finished product, and it's their product. So it's probably cheaper for them to build a mobile friendly website for themselves anyway. So they're probably going to be able to offer you a lower price. But if it sounds fiscally expensive to you, go get some more quotes. That's not a problem. Okay. But you're probably going to have to go through them to get a mobile friendly website. Now let's talk about whether if you just had a kid build it for you, or if you had a professional company build it for you, they're no longer in business, or they just don't maintain it monthly. I would still call that company and see what they can do to make it mobile friendly. Okay. If you hired a kid or a freelancer, I would not ask them. You don't want them to mess up your website. You want to take this seriously. You need to go out and get some quotes. Okay. Call the company if they're still in business. Call them, see what their quote is. Call some other companies and find out what their quotes are. Okay. They're probably going to be your best shot at getting a cheap price for your mobile friendly website. But I'm actually going to suggest to you, if they're quoting you, over 200 or over $300 for your mobile friendly website, which is probably, to be completely honest, is probably on the extremely low end of how much it's going to cost. If they're quoting you somewhere above that, or even $200 to $300, consider switching to WordPress. First of all, if it's not built on WordPress, most website companies build on WordPress these days. If it's not, it's probably an outdated website. It could probably do with some freshening up. For about 60 bucks, you can go out and buy a WordPress theme, which is just the layout of your website. You can go buy a WordPress theme and install it yourself. We have videos on the university that we talked about. If you're a member, we have 4 different videos on how to build your own WordPress website from scratch to finish with zero technical expertise and zero coding required. Anybody can do it. My grandmother could do it. Okay. I would consider switching to WordPress if you're not on WordPress and you find yourself in this situation where someone else has built your website. Okay. That's just my suggestion. It's incredibly inexpensive. And then if you pay that 60 bucks for a theme, more than likely that theme is going to be mobile optimized on its own already. Okay. You just have to transfer your content from the old website to the new website. All right. So those are the 2 options that you have. You can go out and get quotes to see how much it's going to take it mobile friendly, take your website mobile friendly, or you can just decide to switch to WordPress. I would consider switching to WordPress unless you just don't have time to do it. Then I totally understand. Time is money. Pay those companies to take your website mobile friendly. Okay. And then finally, we have one other solution for you that I can't say I recommend, but I can't say I don't recommend it either. I haven't done enough research on this option to tell you one way or another whether it works or not. But I simply just Googled make my website mobile friendly. I was curious to see if there were companies out there that would analyze your website and give you a mobile friendly version for a price. And I wasn't disappointed, because I found a couple of them. And these are by far, I'm not saying these are the best companies. I'm just saying it's what I Googled, and they've done search engine optimization and they're at the top. Now, if you've done SEO for yourself, you know that Google doesn't rank the highest quality company. They just rank the person who works on their SEO the most. Okay, so this is not an indication of quality. I would do some serious research before you take this method, because I haven't looked at prices. I haven't looked at reviews or testimonials or anything like that. I just simply did a Google search right before this coaching call, and this is what I came up with. So you've got some companies here, Due to Mobile, Mobilize Today, Be Mobilized, that claim they will analyze your website and they will take it mobile for you. They'll give you a way to do that. I honestly don't know. You would have to look at their features and their plans. Okay. And let's just actually, while I'm here, let's just do some off the cuff stuff. So, $5 a month, that's not a big deal. $15 a month, that's honestly getting a little expensive, because again, in 4 months, you could have, for the price of 4 months here, you could build your own WordPress website. You need to be careful. You need to be cautious of how much it costs. You also need to be cautious of how much there is on your plate to do. If they have you uploading files to your website and all this and the other, you need to understand if you have the technical expertise to pull something like that off or not. Okay. So I just wanted to give you guys this option. Basically, again, what these guys do is they analyze your website, they give you a mobile friendly version, and then you upload it, I would imagine, or maybe they host it for you. I honestly have no idea. Again, I Googled this like an hour before the call and just thought I would throw it in really quick. Okay. Well, guys, that is pretty much it for today. I mean, the Google mobile update, again, you just need to have a mobile friendly website. It makes sense from a user standpoint. People are coming to your website through a mobile device, and Google is requiring it now for you to show up well on the 21st or after the 21st of 2015. Okay, so they're requiring it for you to show up well on mobile searches. So let's go through the details just again real quick. Again, the update's only going to affect mobile searches, not desktop searches. So your mobile ranking or your desktop ranking will be fine. It's your mobile ranking that's in jeopardy. If you have a mobile friendly website, you're going to pass, you're going to be fine. The mobile algorithm works on a page by page basis. So they look at your pages individually to see if each one is mobile or mobile friendly individually. They don't look at your website as a whole. And then also they are checking your website for mobile friendliness in real time. That also means that if your website goes from being mobile friendly to no longer being mobile friendly, you could potentially drop quickly if Google crawls your website and sees that your website's no longer mobile friendly. That should never happen, but again, if it did, that's going to be the issue. And again, it's coming out on the 21st of April, 2015. All right. Well, those are the details, guys. If you're mobile friendly, you're going to be fine. If you're not mobile friendly, we gave you a ton of different options today to check that out and to work with that. If you have any questions about this mobile friendly revolution on April 21st, what I would encourage you to do is find us on Google Plus or find us on Facebook. You can go to either one and just type in the Local Business Internet Marketing University, and you'll find our pages. Okay, go there, start a conversation with us. We keep up with those. We'd be more than happy to answer any and all of your questions. And for those of you that are members, you know that you can go to our forum and you can ask questions there, and we are more than happy to respond to them. All right. Well, guys, that's pretty much it. Actually, I'm sorry. Let's go to the Q&A portion real quick. Man, I was about ready to end without answering questions. What was I thinking? It looks like we only have one question today, which means, man, I must have really covered some awesome information from Conrad. And he asked, which do you prefer, mobile or responsive? I would say whichever's cheaper. If you are having to take a website mobile, whichever one's cheaper, I think that's really your best bet, and that really should tell you something, that there's really no difference, especially for you as a local business. As a big e-commerce company, that changes a little bit. For a website that gets thousands and thousands of searches a day, that changes a little bit. For a local business, either one, whichever one's cheaper. If you put a gun to my head, I would say I like responsive better. I just think I think it's cooler. I think that it's really cool that as the screen shrinks, things actually shrink down and reorganize. I think it's awesome. Also, little tidbit, in the past, Google has said, between the two, they prefer mobile responsive. I don't know why they prefer mobile responsive, but do not hear that and read, oh, my website's going to rank higher if it's mobile responsive versus having a mobile website. That is not true. All the website has to do is be mobile friendly. Okay. But when it comes down to it, I actually just kind of like responsive. And I think Google's investing in technology to be more mobile responsive. That's what their websites, all of their products are mobile responsive, I believe. I could be wrong about that. So if you had to choose, I choose responsive, but let's say that a mobile friendly website was going to cost me $20 and a responsive website was going to cost me 120. I'm probably buying the mobile website. There's really no difference, to be completely honest. So Fantastic question. Well, that's pretty much it for all the Q&A stuff today. Pretty short Q&A session. But man, it's very, very important to have your website mobile. Now you know how to test to see if your website is mobile. And if it's not, you have a lot of different options to take it mobile. If you have any questions, again, on your specific situation, that's a great idea and a great time to actually take advantage of our private consulting sessions. We do one-on-one private consulting sessions with local businesses all the time at the university. You can go to our university website and you will actually get one and fill out the contact form and let us know what times work for you. And you actually get one-on-one attention for us or from us, and we'll help you figure out your mobile situation. We'll help you figure out what the best route to go is. So there you go. Well, guys, we went all the way today from not knowing anything about the April 21st update to knowing everything, and also not knowing too much about mobile friendly websites to knowing pretty much everything. And finally, you now know whether your website is mobile friendly or not. And if it isn't, you have some good options. Man, we covered so much today in this weekly coaching call. Had an absolute blast. Thanks for the guys that tuned in live. Thank you for your questions. And thank you guys for tuning in to this week 26 weekly coaching call on the Google mobile algorithm update coming April 21st. We'll see you next Friday on our next weekly coaching call.